1:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Niranjan Abesundara. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said security of Sri Lankans overseas has been ensured. Police request people in isolated areas to adhere to quarantine rules and regulations. Disaster Management Centre revealed that the National Disaster Management Plan is in place. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera disclosed that steps have been taken to ban non-degradable plastics. In world news, post-exposure COVID antibody protection has been trialled. Sports news, National Athletics Championships, Sarangiri Silva of the Sri Lanka Army establishes a new long jump record. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that embassies and consular officers have taken measures to ensure security of Sri Lankans in about 40 countries. He told the SLBC that 52,000 Sri Lankans have been brought down to the country. He said another 56,000 are expecting to get back to the country. The minister disclosed that over 1 million Sri Lankan migrant workers are employed in various countries. Ms. Dinesh Gunawardena said, according to data of the Information Bureau of the Foreign Ministry, there are about 500,000 unregistered Sri Lankan workers in overseas employment. Police requested people in isolated areas to adhere to quarantine rules and regulations and cooperate with health authorities to conduct PCR tests. Police spokesman DEC has said people in isolated areas are not allowed to leave those areas. He added, it is reported that people in some areas have not supported health authorities in respect of health instructions, especially to conduct PCR tests. DEC has said if a person does not heed orders of health authorities, he could be arrested and dealt with quarantine rules and regulations. Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Sugat Disanayake, said that a national disaster management plan is in place. He said program to educate people and train people at all levels in this regard are being implemented. Deputy Director General of Health Service, Dr. Hemantha Herath, said that health authorities are prepared to face any challenges with experience in the past. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera said measures have been taken to ban 6 types of non-degradable plastics. He said relevant information has been sent to Attorney General to seek permission to publish the Gazette notification in this regard. The Minister said approval has been given to ban 6 types of plastic, including sachet packets, plastic bottles containing pesticides and toys. He said next step is to ban polythene bags. Sri Lanka has ranked 98 in the Global Cyber Security Index compiled by UK-based National Cyber Security Index, NCSI. Sri Lanka scored 27.27 index according to the index published in the NCSI website. Bangladesh with a score of 44.16 ahead of all other Asian nations except India. Pakistan ranked 66th with a score of 42.86 and China ranked 80th with a score of 35.06. Index was compiled by the NCSI to assess countries' preparedness for basic cyber attacks and their efforts in managing cybercrime and major crises. And that ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Today marked the 16th remembrance of the tsunami disaster. Boxing Day, or the 26th of December, is a sad reminder to all Sri Lankans as they remember the countless lives lost during the tsunami that struck the island in 2004. Since 2005, the government has commemorated this day as the National Safety Day. Every year, the Disaster Management Centre organizes events in remembrance of those who lost their life during the tragedy. The Government Information Department said this year the remembrance ceremonies are somewhat subdued. The ceremonies are held in accordance with guidelines issued by the health authorities. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Superivicky will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Superivicky and Kakulu, products from Siddhaleba.
On to Watchlight, Chairman of the Airport and Civil Aviation Services, G.H. Chandra-Siri, said airport will not be open today for tourists as announced earlier. The chairman said this will be delayed by a few days and the new date will be notified later. However, the first charter flight carrying foreign tourists will arrive in Sri Lanka with 300 passengers from Kazakhstan on Tuesday. Well, that came to you in Watchlight. On to world news. Post-exposure COVID antibody protection has been trialled. South Korea logs second highest daily tally of COVID cases. Millions of Americans lose jobless benefits as Trump refuses to sign aid bill. 10 people have been given antibodies in the form of emergency protection after being exposed to coronavirus in the first trial of its kind. Experimental jab is being offered to people who have been in close contact with confirmed COVID-19 case within the past 8 days. If it proves effective, it could protect vulnerable people who haven't yet been or can't be vaccinated. The trial run at University College London Hospital Trust is looking at whether an injection of 2 different antibodies could prevent someone who has been exposed to COVID-19 from developing the disease or at least from becoming very ill. South Korea posted its second highest daily number of coronavirus cases today as outbreaks at a prison, nursing homes and churches continue to grow, prompting authorities to plead halt to all year-end gatherings. Korean Disaster Control Prevention Agency said there were 1,132 new coronavirus cases yesterday. The government plans to hold a meeting tomorrow to discuss whether it will be tightening distancing rules to the toughest level for the Greater Seoul area. Millions of Americans will see their jobless benefits expire tomorrow after U.S. President Donald Trump refused to sign into law a $2.3 trillion pandemic aid and spending package, protesting they did not do enough to help everyday people. Trump's 10 Republicans and Democrats alike when he said this week he was unhappy with a massive bill which provides $892 billion in badly needed coronavirus relief, including extending special unemployment benefits expiring today and $1.4 trillion for normal government spending. And back to the headlines of the world news. Post-exposure COVID antibody protection has been trialled. South Korea logs second highest daily tally of COVID cases. Millions of Americans lose jobless benefits as Trump refuses to sign aid bill. That was world news. On to development news, Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said government has allocated 517 million rupees to develop 5 botanical gardens including Peradeniya, Gampaha, Haggala, Sitavaka and Mirajawala next year. Funds have also been allocated to develop the Megalab Harthapiyasa Training Centre for conducting research. The minister said government will take steps to develop the botanical gardens to popularize biodiversity and floriculture in Sri Lanka among tourists. On to sports news. Sarangini Silva of Sri Lanka Army established a new long jump record for women with 3.3 meters at the National Athletics Championship, the commenced today at Sugandasa Stadium in Colombo. Thirani Ratnayaka of the Army won the first gold medal of the Games. She clocked 10 minutes, 15.77 seconds in the 3,000 meters hurdles. And in the 5,000 meters marathon, RMS Pushpakumar of the Army won the gold medal with a timing of 14 minutes, 29.47 seconds. The first test between Sri Lanka and South Africa will be played at Centurion Super Sports Grounds from today. The match will begin at 1:30 p.m. Sri Lanka time. The two teams have played 29 tests so far and Sri Lanka won 9 out of them. South Africa has won 14 tests against Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, South African test team will make an anti-racism gesture when they take the field against Sri Lanka today. Coach Mark Boucher confirmed the squad has decided to express their support for inclusion after the interim board issued a statement of concern over the team not taking a knee when they returned to national cricket last month. Today, the first day of the second test of India tour of Australia in Melbourne. Batting first, Australia scored 195 in their first innings. In reply, India were 36 for 1 at close of play today. The first test of the Pakistan tour New Zealand begins today. New Zealand batting first were 225 for 3 wickets at stumps. And Ross Taylor scored 70 while Kane Williamson was not out on 94. That was sports news. And on to business news. Hatton Plantations have entered into a strategic partnership with Regency Teas, a milestone in the company's rapid progress. In a share trade completed this week, Regency Teas made a strategic investment of 290 million rupees by acquiring close to 30 million Hatton Plantation shares from Lotus Renewables, representing 12.28% of Hatton Plantation's share capital. That was business news. Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Regional plantation companies handed over fresh proposals aimed at radically expanding worker earnings during a recently concluded meeting with the Minister of Labour and trade union leaders. The newly introduced proposal provides for a hybrid between the daily wage model and productivity-linked earning systems implemented with great success in the smallholder sector. On the new proposals, RPCs will continue to offer a fixed daily wage with reintroduced of attendance and productivity incentives. That was economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on to the weather, Met Department says that shower condition of the northern, north central and eastern provinces is expected to enhance to some extent from tonight. Solar pells of showers that occur in the northern, eastern and north central provinces and Iwo province. Shower thunderstorms occur at a few places in the Sabaragawa province and the Kalutara, God and Mathura districts in the afternoon. That was the weather report. And back to the headlines of the news. Ms. Dinesh Gunawardena said security of Sri Lankans overseas has been ensured. Police request people in isolated area to adhere to quarantine rules and regulations. Disaster Management Centre revealed that a national disaster management plan is in place. Ms. Mahinda Amravira disclosed that steps have been taken to ban non-degradable plastics. In world news, post-exposure COVID antibody protection has been trialled. Sports news, National Athletics Championships, Sarangani Silva of Sri Lanka Army establishes a new long jump record. That is the news. You're tuned to Radio Sri Lanka.